What do you make of these new NBA awards?
Well, I guess it's all about the Bucks, and somebody's going to sponsor them, and that's fine. But there'll be you're not going to please. You know this, Dan. You can't please them all. You can't please people. You can't get a unanimity of opinion about who's deserving of these awards. I am with you on the Kareem versus Michael thing. No slight to Michael, but when are they going to get around to paying homage to Kareem properly? I think.
Yeah.
So that'd be good. But that's I have a nominee for the defensive award that people that quite frankly is a better technical nominee than a Hakeem Olajuwon, but I can understand why it would be a little bit of a hesitancy to name an award after Dennis Rodman. Who frankly is arguably the best all-around defender the game has ever known, and that he'd be able to guard anybody from point guards to centers and all that. There's been a few people like that, but he's the best of them all, I think. But he's Dennis Rodman. He's a character, to say the least. Well, that's interesting. I heard somebody yesterday on air complaining about the Havlicek name on the Six-Man Award. And that one, of course, I'll fight that one to the death. I'll fight that one. By the way, when John passed a couple of years ago, he was, always known as the great six-man. And I said it was damning him with faint praise because even as early as his second year in the league, though he was, in fact, not starting games, he was second on that team in minutes played behind Bill Russell, and that remained the case for the whole time he was a six-man. Anyway, it's you know what, we're talking about it. I think that's probably something they like too.
Yeah, I agree with that. And some of these names, like George Mikan, okay, people maybe they'll do some homework there with George Mikan, but most improved, he came in averaging 27 and 15 or something like that.
He never had. No, absolutely no. That's preposterous. Now then again, who would we? I'd have to think now that that you bring this up. I'll have to do some thinking. Who would be an appropriate person to name that award after? Who went the farthest? From obscurity to stardom. I'll get back to you on that one, but I don't have it on the top of my head.
Well, I was thinking
it wasn't George Mikan,
the Greek Freak, Bob, but he's still playing.
Yeah, right. Well, okay, right. He did. What the average as a rookie? Yeah, that's true. But there's obviously Mikan is. It's just a name. It's nice to have George Mikan remembered, and he could the best nearsighted player of all time. That would be good. He played with glasses his whole career. It was a contact lens world that he lived in. So. Anyway.
Why don't we honor Kareem, though, Bob? I know he missed out on social media. He was not lovable. He's the greatest college player of all time. He made it look maybe too easy, but, it just feels...
I don't know. And in his post-career, he has, become a distinguished... we know he's an intellect. He's an author. He's taken up causes of Native American causes, for example. He's a person. He's a go-to person on any social commentary of the time. And if you're going to start going in terms of all-time IQs in the league, he's going to be in the high in the list. And he never did anything to disgrace the game. He never did. He was never in the wrong part of the newspaper that I know of. He has the greatest signature shot in the history of basketball. The most famous weapon ever, singular weapon, is his hook shot.
Yeah.